Hey YouTube, it's Dave. It's been a week now since I've taken the hub off of the Ranger. Came in today. This is just after Labor Day weekend. Took me about 6 days for it to arrive from Pacific Trailers. And as you'll recall, I had a catastrophic failure of the oil-bathed hub that is on my Ranger 520L. It's a 2018 model and it has just come in. This is the old one here. We've got a brand new box. I got a little bit of damage here that concerns me. I haven't got in it yet, but let's go ahead and open it up and we're gonna go real time replacing this. So we're gonna hope that they sent me the correct part. I have all confidence that they did because it's a it's a Vault hub and it's a DB 35. So let's get in here. It's packed pretty good. I'm just worried about what poked through on the side. So that does look like the, got a small hole over here. I see that probably the bleeder on the caliper. And the most precious point here is the oil bathed, and that's what popped through here. So Pacific Trailer, if you're watching this, you could probably do a little bit better job packing this in. Give me just a second. We're going to pull it out of here. I'm going to set the phone down. Pull this out with 2 hands because it's probably about close to 50 pounds. It's got some lug nuts and the replacement bolt in it. So let me set her down here. Now, as you remember, I still have the brake assembly, or the caliper rather, hooked up. There's nothing wrong with this caliper. I cleaned it up. Don't let that deceive you. It is a lot dirtier than that when it comes off. I am going to keep that. I've got good meat on the brake pads, as you can see there. So there is no reason to change that and go through all the hassle of bleeding. Now that means I'm going to have to take off the brand new caliper, but that's not a problem. I plan to do that. Here's the old one. As you can see, the catastrophic failure, you know, somebody mentioned, you know, you could rebuild that with new bearings and all that. Yeah, you're about to see how easy this replacement is. So what we're going to want to do, I'm going to spin this around and show you. We are going to remove the caliper and it will come right off. It is these 2 bolts are what's holding it on, and it is a 9/16, and we're going to pull this one off. It takes blue Loctite, and we're going to put this on the boat, and we are going to install it that quick in real time. So let me go ahead and prop the phone up here. I'm going to put this in the vise real quick, and we'll pull that out of there. All right, so I've now got it put in the vise, and we're gonna back these out of here. Ooh, I did not have it tight enough in the vise. Let's tighten that back down. Obviously, I'm gonna have to set this down to get a good bite on it. These are fine threads. I could use my air gun, make it a lot quicker. get that one all the way up. Bust that one loose. You'll remember I replaced, or when I took the old one off, I marked the machined spline on the trailer so we line it up correctly, because it's critical that you have the right wheel height when you do this. And then I'm going to use these new bolts that I'm pulling out of the mounting bracket here for the caliper. We'll put some blue Loctite on it, and this will be the last thing we do before we put the tire back on. This really does not take long. You're seeing it in real time, unedited. Got the first bolt out. And the second one is out. As you can see, it's a 9/16 fine thread. This one has brand new pads on it, but again, I'm going to set this off to the side and put some blue Loctite on these real quick. We do not want the caliper working its way off on road miles. And we'll wait on the blue Loctite when I get it over there. So I'll go ahead and pull this out of the vise and take it over to the boat. So let me get the phone set up. All right, if you'll remember, when I took this off, I marked the arm with the red line and then where the connecting portion needs to be. All right, so here we go. I'll use my mag light here. So this part here needs to line up just where, that looks pretty good there. And look at the line is lined up. I might go one spline more, but when it pinches down, I am really close, but I'm going to move it one more spline because they're so fine. That's a bullseye there. The arm lines up. I'm a little high on that arm, it looks like, so I'm going to put one spline back up. Right there. So see that line back there? Really good. We got the bolts that came with it. This is a 15th, 16th socket. I do not have an open end wrench that's that big. It does have a nylon nut, but it's going to be torqued to 150 foot-pounds. Now, if you'll remember, there's a machine portion on the spline. So the bolt will only go in when that spline is lined up. I would say we're pretty good. The nut rides on the bottom. And I've got one more washer I got to put on that bottom one. So I got the bottom one. I'm going to go ahead and torque this down to specs, get all of this done before I work on putting the brake assembly back on. So because I don't have an open end, I can use a big crescent or I can use that. I'm using an air gun to speed things up. Wait there. I'm going to torque this to 150 foot-pounds. So I got to get one on the top because it's moving on me. That's 150 right there. That's the max my wrench will go. Tap that off there. All right, so now we are ready to put the caliper on. So the two mounting bolts go on the back. Some blue Loctite on it. A little bit of problem getting the Loctite on there. I know you can't see this from the back. Some thread goes on the next one. Alright, I got the front and back on. This is a 9/16. Tighten her down. Go down the bottom one. So don't over tighten one. Really isn't a hard repair at all. It's a lot cleaner just to replace it like we are. I was fortunate because I had no problems with the caliper. There was no damage to it. I just lost the oil bathed cap, which, as I mentioned in the last video, in retrospect, I had indication that it was coming because the inside of the rim was collecting dirt and grit and grease, which means that it was losing the lubrication onto the rim. I just didn't realize what I was seeing. I've had so many trailers with greased hubs that just an experienced bass boat owner, I didn't see it as a big deal. And now I know by looking at the other wheels that are clean as a whistle, that was giving me every indication that I had a future failure coming. I'll probably torque these to about 60 foot-pounds. That's how I get them on there. All right. So this is the final repair. I used the exact caliper off the old one. When I apply the brakes a couple times, it's spinning, and the new shoes will work their way off. So that's it. It's ready to put a tire on it and lower it, and I'll road test it, make sure that it's not hanging up, but that's all there is to it. Hope you enjoyed the video.